Today, I'm going to teach you multiple ways you can improve in Counter-Strike 2 without even playing a single hour of this game. Now, this is going to be a very beginner guide that's going to kickstart your success inside of CS2 and something that is really going to put you down the right track. I wish I would have watched a video like this when I first started the game, so I know this is going to be very valuable. Guys, I have 15,000 hours in CS2. I've traveled the world competing in different teams and different tournaments. I have so much to offer to you guys. I love if you hit that subscribe button as we get into the game right here. The first thing that I need you to do with Counter-Strike 2, we are actually going to dive into your settings. This is not going to be a settings video. I just want to briefly bring this up. Things that you should be looking for is one, we'll go to video first. Make sure you're playing in full screen. If you can, 100% play full screen. Make sure your refresh rate is as high as it can go. And then, make sure you're playing on a normal resolution. So for this could be native, where you play on 16:9, you don't mess with anything, 1920 by 1080. That could be 4:3 and playing on 1440 by 1080 or 1280 by 960. I don't care what resolution you're playing on. Just play on a normal one. Look up pro settings if you need to, and you're going to be perfectly fine. Just don't play on some crazy weird resolution or play windowed or with a taskbar. It's going to hurt you. Now let's go ahead and go over to keyboard and mouse. The next thing I need you to do is to literally just play on a normal range of a sensitivity. This is going to be anywhere from like 550 EDPI to like 1500 EDPI. If you're playing above this, yes, you can make it work. If you're playing below it, yes, you could make it work. But if you're finding yourself in the range that I listed, you are going to succeed. And the way you find your EDPI is you take your mouse DPI, which minus 400, and I multiply by my in-game sensitivity, which is going to be 2.0, getting me 800 EDPI. Please don't play with zoom multiplier or any mouse excel or anything like that. And also for you oppers and people that use scope guns, make sure repeat is enabled. These are easy ways right there to just improve yourself from the settings menu. I got to give you guys a message first before we get into the rest of the tips about how to get the best Counter-Strike 2 skins if we're going to be playing this game.
Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code, KOJO. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description.
All right, guys, so I tricked you. We're actually going to briefly head back into the buy menu, or not the buy menu, the settings menu, and we are going to talk about bindings. I say this on the channel over and over and over again. I will keep saying it because you guys need to make sure you're actually doing this. Have all your weapons binded, have your explosive, which is going to be the C4 that you plant, have that binded, have your HE grenade, flash, smoke. All of these things should be on different keys. I should be able to press Q for my flash, my side mouse button for each of these different utils, and I should be able to just click one button and get to them. If you're sitting there and scrolling or cycling with the same button on your keyboard for all your different nades and stuff like that, you're making yourself worse at the game. And I wish that when I downloaded Counter-Strike, I already had binds for all my stuff. It would have helped me learn those basics and mechanics so well before I even started playing the game. Now, another bind that I really do recommend, but it's not 100% what you have to do, but you should just get used to it right away, is jumping with scroll wheel. In your settings, bind jump to scroll wheel, and it's going to make your movement a lot better in the long run. Of course, when you first start playing, it's going to be bad. You're not going to be good at moving at all, and it's going to make you struggle a lot. Now, let's go ahead and talk about another thing that you can do. It drives me crazy that new players do this, and I completely understand, but we need to understand basic economy, and this is something that we don't even need to play the game to understand. Guys, when the game starts, when it's round 0, like round 1, right, we are all in pistols. Please stop saving on pistol round. Get yourself a Kevlar vest on both sides as a new player, because that's going to allow you to soak in more damage, more of that kind of stuff, and we want to win pistol round. If you want to get better at Counter-Strike 2 from the beginning, you need to understand that pistol rounds are the most important rounds inside of the game. And if we're sitting there and not buying armor on these type of rounds, we are just actively hurting ourselves and making it hard. You're not doing yourself or your team a favor by saving on pistol round. And you might be like, well, coach, I'm only saving $300. Is it that bad? Yes. We want to press our advantage and get as much money spent on pistol round as we can outside of buying decoys and stuff like that. That's not really practical. Yes, you can use that as a fake flash. It could matter, but we should be buying armor and just having $150 left on pistol round, or just getting nades and maybe an upgraded pistol. Let's talk about some don'ts. Please don't buy a P250 on CT side pistol round on round 1 or round 13. Don't do that. Outside of that, of course, buy it. Don't buy a deagle on either side for pistol round. It's never useful. And on T side, don't buy dualies on pistol round. These are some things you should never be doing that I see new players doing wrong every single time. Speaking of buying and stuff, we're just going to combine that into this video. I'm going to help you understand things you need to do before we even start playing, which is more buying stuff. Is, guys, realize that you need to buy and save at different points in the game. If your team has below $2,000 for most people, if you're sitting at like $1,900, $1,800, you should save. If your team is sitting at like $1,400 on everybody, you guys should force buy a pistol and armor, right? But whatever you're doing, when you are actually forcing, when you're buying in this game, you should be getting armor. Armor is the most important thing, at least Kevlar vest. And then on T side, you should always be getting Kevlar and helmet. CT side, there are some rounds where you don't need to get a helmet if your opponents are AK, but that's a little more advanced game theory. I don't really need you to think about that right now. But please, if you're ever winning a round, guys, you have to have armor. The only time you should never have armor in this game is if your eco is so bad that you are doing a full save where we're going into the round with just USPs or Glocks. This is a strategy to help build our money, and we're just sacrificing that round essentially to get a better buy in the next round. But I see a lot of new players making the mistake of they win a round and then they go into the next round with just like a deagle and no armor. And I'm like, what are we doing, guys? Whenever we win a round, we should never be buying something from pistol area right here. It should always be either mid tier if our money is not the best, or rifle tier if our money is great. And speaking of rifles, the guns that are going to be what you should get used to and things you're going to use at a high level if you want to play this game at a long term, is you always want to get the M4s, the A1S or the A4. AUG can be decent. I like it. Not everybody likes it. Some people think it's horrible. I love it. I think it's amazing. So you can play like me. On T side, we are going to buy AKs, Galils, and as far as rifles, we're on both sides. We're always trying to get the op. That's always a very good weapon, especially for beginners, because all you got to do is point and click. It's a very simple gun to understand. But understanding that these are the weapons you have to get good at and buy is going to help you go forward, because a lot of new players, they sit there and they buy the wrong guns. They're sitting there with PP Bisons thinking Bisons are good, or just like other useless weapons that, yes, you might use here and there every once in a while, but like why do you need to train yourself on the MP7 and get good at that? If you're actually trying to get better at the game, train those weapons. It's really good. As far as SMGs, MP9 is sick. Mac 10s are great to get used to using and utilizing. Now let's talk about something that you will notice when you get into the game, and that is when you are a beginner. I don't know why everyone does this. I did it too, but we feel the need to have our crosshair on the ground and go around the map looking at the ground, because our eyes are looking above our crosshair and we're trying to like scan the map and analyze, but we run around the map looking like this and it's really bad. So as a beginner, for your first hour of the game, if you can get into the map and just focus on getting your crosshair up, your crosshair up where people are actually going to peek, and it's going to take time to realize how high you need to hold and stuff. It's not going to be perfect at all. That's going to help you out a lot, because a lot of players do just run around the map and they're holding like Palace, but they're holding it from here, and if they peek, they have to move their crosshair. Don't move your crosshair, and instead, the second you load into CS, just understand, have my crosshair where people are actually going to peek me. That angle where their chest or head is going to be shown, and it will go so far for your development inside of this game. But yeah, guys, those are some tips that I wanted to give you in order to help you develop yourself and become the best CS2 player possible from an early stage. If you are brand new to CS, this video will literally propel you forward so much. You're going to learn so rapidly. Please check out my other coaching channel where I actually work with players and help develop them. You're going to learn so much from those videos if you found this video helpful. And of course, all the videos here on the main channel are going to be awesome tools for you to learn and grow from. I'm really happy that you're playing Counter-Strike. This is my love. This is my game. It's a beautiful thing, man. Counter-Strike is so unique, so special. So I'm happy that you're here to play it with me. Appreciate all of you guys. Maybe I'll see you in the server one day up on the big stage. Keep dreaming, keep working hard, and just have fun with this game. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. Peace out.